Thank you for stopping in and checking out my series on the character creator, every race, and every possible option. This one is about the female Lalafell and the Plainsfolk. So we're going to start with her. As far as the height goes, you can go all the way down to 34.2 inches up to 38.2. Not a whole lot of difference. You've only got 4 inches in there. A little bit of height. The bust size, I'm going to actually change this to the small clothes to show you this. I do not see any sort of a difference between the small bust and the large. Small or large. My recommendation on this is just go ahead and skip the bust size on the female Lalafell. It does not matter. You've got your skin color here. We've got the lightest up in the corner. You can go to a black, and then on the way down, take a look and get more brown skinned, and then obviously lighter as you go across. A lot more variety than some of the other ones that I've noticed where the color changes aren't as drastic. As far as the hairstyle here, I'm actually going to jump and make sure we've got some highlights. That way you can see a general idea of what we're looking at when it comes to the hair color here. Let's do... there we go. Okay. So our hairstyle then. This is the first hairstyle. Give you a good view of it because it's kind of front and back, something's going on. Got a little ponytail with a couple of braids in front. Most interesting when you add a highlight. More of a swirl than highlights. This one on the Lalafell does have a little hair clip in the back. Go there. The headband brush to one side of the face. This one is actually 2 little pigtails back there. Higher ponytail with the headband. Very high ponytail. Straight long hair. Again, we've got some pigtails going on, little braids on the side. These last 4 are just going to be different color bows for the high pigtails. We've got a gray, a light pink purple, an actual pink, and a light blue. One thing of note, and it'll become a little bit more apparent as we get down into face paint, tattoos, and some of those options on the facial features, all of the Lalafell hairstyles have something covering their face, whether it be the side of the face or the forehead or both, like this one. This is the clearest the face will be, so as you're looking at the different options for facial features or tattoos, or you find you really want to have a tattoo, you're going to have to pick a corresponding hair color or hairstyle that doesn't actually have anything covering that tattoo, unless you like it kind of hidden. So we're going to do this for display purposes. Again, we've got our hair colors. You've got a bunch of options as far as your highlights go, and then as your hair color goes. Again, this hairstyle is probably one of the most drastic as far as the highlights, so make sure you take a look as you're going through on your own and make sure you got the right kind of highlights that you like. With the facial features here, this is the first one that we start out with. The next one is going to put a little bit more shading on the ears, a little bit of blush, and changes the eye shape a little bit more round, whereas the first one's more pointed. The second one then, we get very similar shaded ears. The eyes flatten out though, and they go through, still have the blush on the cheeks. Last one then, you're going to get mostly just a change in the eyes, tilted down, almost a sad look, and then freckles or a little bit of blush right over the nose there. So these will be able to change slightly the eye shape as far as that goes, but within them, this is your starting of where you'll actually come out. So I'm going to start with this one here. Your jaw type, be able to see it here. Type 1 is this. Type 2 is going to bring it in and our cheeks a little bit more oval. Type 3 then is going to extend it down her chin. And then type 4 rounds everything out, the most round face that you can end up with. Eye shape, This is what I was saying, you can adjust the eye shape some within each of those whole face changes. This is the first eye. Second one's going to drop the outside a little bit more round. Then you've got the third, going to tilt them inward a little bit more, adjust them. Oops, sorry. That's the third one. Fourth one then is the most round that you'll actually get. It extends the eyebrows over a little bit more, definitely a round shape. Fifth one is going to make them nice and narrow in there, a lot more oval. And lastly, the sixth one just kind of widens that out. Still not quite as round as the fourth one. Iris size, you can go ahead and change. You got the large by default. Smaller is going to shrink it down just a little bit. Difference between those sizes. Eye color, you have a bunch of options from your black to your white, oranges, reds, purples, blues, greens, whether you want them light or darker. You got a bunch of options. You can also go through and do odd eyes. So you've got same color choices, just can pick two different color eyes if you so desire. I personally will stick with one. I won't give her reddish eyes. With the eyebrows here, there is honestly not a whole lot of change. We'll have a couple more options with those later. This is the first type. Second one's going to just bend the end down just a little bit. Third is going to thin that out. Very thin pencil line. Fourth one then is your biggest, bushiest there. And then fifth is the highest, very sharp angle on the Lalafell there. Personally, we'll take the second one there. The nose type here, type 1. Type 2 is going to bring it up a little bit more, a little bit larger nose, more pointed. Type 3 then elongates it a lot narrower, still distinctive on the face. Type 4 is a very little button of a nose, very small. Type 5 is going to be a lot bigger, not quite as tall, but more rounded, bigger at the end. Type 6 is the smallest nose possible, both skinny and short. I'm personally going to stick with this one here, type 5. With your mouth, you start with the first one. Second one's going to make it a little bit more plump. Third one's nice and thin and long. And then the fourth just pinches it in a little bit. Leave it as the default there. Lip color then here you have an option. You have a smaller color swatch. You can do absolutely none. You can do a light or you can do a dark. So it gives you a couple of options there. Let me show you with the black. You've got a dark or a light or absolutely none. So depends on how much you want it to actually show up. With the ear shape then, we can do the nice high pointed. We can go back to where it was more lying flat and pointed. Third one's going to kind of put them back on her face a little bit more, back on her head. Stand them up. And then the fourth is up, but is different from the first one, that it's more pointed. Or the fourth one, I'm sorry, is more rounded. First one is more pointed. So options on that end. And then obviously you can choose the ear size, shorter or longer. And it'll kind of extend them out as that goes through as well. Facial features then on here. You can, this is what I was talking about, you can actually make the eyebrows look a little bit bigger if you want more than just the little line. You can do eyeshadow, making her eyes a little bit darker. You can do a nice dark nose, and she has an option for earrings. With these facial features, you can do all, none, some of them, any combination that you so desire. So they're all available to you there. I'm going to go ahead and just do the eyeshadow, darker eyes. With the tattoos, same thing, all, you could do either of them, both of them, none of them. First one is going to be a little bit of blush, in addition to the blush that I already chose earlier, but a little bit of blush, or a tattoo. Only option is on the right side of her face there. So then you'll get down to the tattoo color. So if you're doing the tattoos and you can't quite see it because of the color of her skin, just go change the tattoo color first. And so you can make that match whatever you'd like to actually go with as far as the color there. And then you come to the face paint. With the face paint here, I'm going to actually make sure I got a color that'll show up with what we're looking at. That'll work. First one you're going to be looking at is eyeshadow over the whole eye, over just the inside part of the eye, or the outside part. You've got then some blush, purple blush. Got some dots under her eyes. Then you've got either side. So that's going to show up there. You can reverse it and go on the other side. On this note, for face paint, I'm sorry, there is only one that you can do, either on either side of the face. You can't do multiples. So there's a dragon, some wings, you have a heart, a butterfly, stars, or a flower. You've got a chick on the side of her face. Whiskers, that'll actually show up on both sides of the face there. Got a fun design on her forehead. Again, this is what I was talking about, that the hair will always cover something in the face. Figure out what you want on the face and do the hairstyle, or vice versa. You got some dots. You've got some stripes across. This one, when you reverse it, just changes the direction that it goes. Got some eye makeup there. An X. Face paint. Another fun design on her whole face. You can stripe through the eyes. Half and half. And a fun design over the whole face. I'm going to go back and just do dots on her head. Again, you just see one in this case. Face paint color, you do have an option then here of either making it dark, so you can see that black dot, or you can lighten it up so you can barely see it on there. So that's an option if you want it darker or lighter, depending on what you're looking for there and your different colors. Lastly, we have the voice. And your emotes that you can go through to figure out the voice. You've got an angry, you've got an excited, you've got a laugh, an approval, and disapproval. I personally think this one is the easiest to tell what the voice is, so I'm going to go through on that one. Again, as you're playing around with it, you can pick and choose from there. So we're going to do type 1 again. Type 2. Type 3. Type 4. Type 5. Type 6. Type 7. Type 8. Type 9. Type 10. Type 11. And type 12.
Woohoo!
And that is the female Lalafell Plainsfolk. Let me know if you've got any questions, comments, or want to see something in a little bit more detail, and I'll be certain to get to you.